Hello everybody, my name is Tim Michael and welcome to another YouTube video, a Draw Too Much sketch lesson, episode 2, turning the minions into a human form, of course cartoon, because that's what I do. And you guys are going to get to see me take this from pencil form to ink form on vellum. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. And then remember, if you want to see more, I have an advanced tutorial waiting for you guys where I take these guys and I digitize them. I scan it in and I color it in Manga Studio EX5. So if you want to see that, make sure you stop by my Patreon. There are links everywhere and I'll give it to you at the end of the episode as well. So starting off with the pre-sketch and just kind of getting a basic flow of how I want things to look, using a Sumo Grip pencil and drawing on XL paper, marker paper, and basically just drawing out what I want to, and you're going to see me immediately go in and start to harden things up with this pencil. And I just want to really make it nice and crisp because I might just take this to a sketch form, and I decided after the fact that I would go ahead and actually take it to an inked form on vellum. So basically pushing really hard, kind of using the same technique that I use for drawing my pencil caricatures, and just filling things out, adding shading in everywhere, and just working with the values of the pencil. The pencil is a Sumo Grip with a 0.9 lead. It's actually a fairly large lead for a basic pencil, which is really great because you can get some really great values. You can push really hard and the lead doesn't break on you as easily as a 0.7 or a 0.5. And then, of course, as I'm drawing along, you get some great values because you can shade with it and just do some very basic stuff. So I've drawn the first character, and I'm moving on to the second character. This guy here is Kevin, if you know anything about the minions, and I figured it'd be a lot of fun to just try and turn them into a human form. Kevin has just a couple hairs that stand up on the top of his head, so I figured I'd go ahead and try and show that through a couple fun little curls on the top, and then just coming down and working my way down. One trick to remember, guys, when it comes to drawing is remember that the pre-sketch that you put down is not your final product. You're allowed to do whatever you want. So as you start working along, if you think that you can do better than what you did in your pre-sketch, just think of your pre-sketch as a guide, but not as the final artwork. You don't have to draw things exactly to your pre-sketch. If you can do better, go with it. Now we're on to Bob. Bob only has one green eye and one brown eye, so I decided I was going to go a little crazy with his irises. And you'll see that I'm actually going to redraw two of these guys as we continue to move on here. I didn't like how Bob's head was turning out. His eyes and his mouth and things like that were looking pretty good, but not his overall head. And I also wasn't feeling good for Stuart. Stuart's the small guy on the left-hand side. And I decided I'd go ahead and try another route. So we got the vellum from Canson put down, and I'm just going ahead and starting to ink immediately with a multi-liner 0.3, and it is an excellent pen. Now let me tell you guys something. I'm making a big mistake right now here, and that is that I am inking with my hand touching the vellum directly. Don't do that. Don't do that with any kind of format. Get some paper put down, put your hand on top of it. I'll do that here in just a second. I'm doing basic comic shading, which is trying to get lots of black fills and then also putting in dagger strokes in many places just to make it look a little bit more deep. The more shadows that you can put in without going too intense, the more depth is given to your piece. So the more that you can add in, the better. These multi-liners from Copic, or Copic, depending on how you like to call it, are excellent pens. And they scanned really well into the computer and inked very well. I mean, it inked very well, but then it scanned very well and it converted very well into the digital image. If you watch the advanced tutorial, you'll see that I did not actually do anything extra other than scanning it into the computer. And then you don't see that process, but the scanning was done. I scanned it in whatever mode I wanted, and then I just tried to turn the white as pure white as I could, and then set the layer to multiply. You can learn more about that in the advanced tutorial if you want. So I took the vellum, and now we're on to character number 2. Now let me say, I like the eyes and I like the nose, but I didn't like the overall face. So you're going to see I kind of quickly drew out those details, and I lifted the vellum up off of the paper so I could see how the character was doing. When I was satisfied with those, then when I went, it looks kind of freaky when it lifts up on the paper, doesn't it? What I did was I took the vellum and I turned it upside down. And when I turned it upside down and then drew the face on the back side of the vellum to the shape that I wanted it to be, then I turned it back over and I traced out the pencil that I drew on the back of the vellum. Once I had that, then I was able to go ahead and go back over top my design with the new head that I appreciated more for Bob and start working on his body again. And just build off of that. The vellum is really great, and one thing I would suggest is as you get closer to doing these kinds of things, remember to go back later and erase the excess pencil once you're done. If you do this and you're drawing with pencil on the back of vellum and then you flip it over and you start drawing on the other side, like inking it, you end up leaving a copy of it on whatever you're drawing on. So be careful. It leaves kind of like a carbon copy, if you will. So remember to erase your excess off the back, and you'll see me do that in a little bit. Excuse me. For now, I'm just continuing on, trying to remember my values, trying to get the pen to show depth in as many areas as I want. And I'm trying to give that reflection of the black gloves and details like that. And as you guys can see, I've tried to follow through with the full body coveralls and details like that, as well as yellow shirts in the final concept. Now, like I said, I was not a fan of the first character, so I decided I was going to go ahead and redraw him. His name is Stuart, and he only has one eye, so I figured it'd be fun to go ahead and only give him one eye, kind of like a monocle, and cover over his other eye. I decided I'd try another iteration of him, or version of him, and I drew him with both eyes, but I tried to give him like a patch over one eye. Decided, nah, let's not do that, so I erased it, and I went ahead and pulled the hair back over that one eye like I did originally. I wanted him to kind of be the smart one who's curious on what's going on with Bob, because Bob looks just insane. So I decided I'd go ahead and have him draw him playing a ukulele like they are drawn. If you look up Minions on Google, search will come up. You'll see an image of the Minions and one with each one of the characters, and Stuart's playing a guitar or a ukulele, and you see Bob just looking weird and Kevin just looking like Kevin and just chilling out. So I figured I'd go ahead and kind of go with the same feeling that I wanted to hit. Now, originally I had this character, Stuart, drawn on a box, and I decided I was going to go ahead and actually put him on the floor, and I wanted him to look up at Bob. So you'll see in a second here, I'm going to make these two quick lines that look like they go upwards to him right there. Right there. And that was just so I could get an idea of which direction I should have Stuart looking to look directly at Bob. And that's something that's really helpful, trying to think about like a vector that looks directly up at him, drawing a line from the point of the eye to the point that it's supposed to be targeting. That way you're not having him look off into nowhere when he's supposed to be looking at the guy who's making him go, what on earth is his problem? Once again, just continuing the inking process, trying to get the gloves to shine a little bit, and you'll see in a little bit here, I'm going to take the whole vellum off, I'm going to put it on a clean white piece of paper, and I'm just going to add in some more depth. When it comes to working with multi-liners or any kind of inking, you'll find that there is not a lot of line weight that you can get out of them. The best couple tricks that I've learned is that you can take a couple pieces of paper and stack them on top of each other, and then draw with a multi-liner or a pencil, and it will give depth to the final piece. And it will help because instead of your pen pressing exactly against a hard board, what it'll do instead is it'll allow for depth, and it'll allow the tip of the pen to sink into the paper a bit more and hopefully give you a bit more depth. Doesn't always work, but sometimes it does, and it's quite helpful. Putting in the final touches of these guys, and I hope that you've enjoyed this, signing it up, and you're going to see I'm going to put the names of the different characters on here. I run with this a lot further in the final video in the advanced tutorial that's on my Patreon, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this. For those of you who just want to learn how to go this far, I hope that you've enjoyed it. I want to make sure you get a full tutorial just for you guys. I am still giving free content. I am still always going to make free videos for you guys. I don't want you to ever feel cheated like you're not getting the whole thing. I want to offer you guys tutorials for free that will show you exactly what you need to do for those of you who can look at it and understand the speed, or can understand a quick talk through of me doing different things. And then if you want the advanced stuff, you go take a look at the Patreon. By the way, special thanks to all of our new patrons. We got 2 new patrons since our last video that we posted with its advanced tutorial. And thank you so much, guys. Greatly appreciate your donations. I got to message both of you. Loved your compliments. Loved your kindness. I was expecting, honestly, having people donate $1 to watch the the advanced tutorials is obviously a bit of a gimmick. I'm looking for a way to make some more money so I can take care of, you know, getting more stuff and making more tutorials for you guys, and looking forward to doing more. And instead of people going with the bare minimums, one of you has donated $3, another one's donated $1, and told me I am more than happy to do this. This is not just for the videos, it's because I appreciate what you make. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So any of you guys who'd be interested in taking a look at some of the advanced tutorials, or you just want to support me, you guys are all amazing, then please consider stopping by patreon.com/TimMichaelArts. Thank you so much for all of your support, guys. You are all awesome, and I look forward to spending more time with you guys in the future. And remember, if you are a Patreon supporter, you guys get first dibs on whatever future tutorials we create. So please remember to stop on by there and let me know what you're interested in learning. It would help me out a lot, and that way I have more content that I can make for you guys, whether it's a Draw2Much sketch lesson where I'm using my cell phone and recording what you just saw here, or whether it's doing a digital caricature or digital anything, trying to teach you guys how to work in Manga Studio or Photoshop or whatever program that we need to discuss. Everyone who's on Patreon gets first dibs. Okay? So thank you so much, guys. I greatly appreciate everything that you guys are doing to support me, the new subscribers here on YouTube, the wonderful comments, all of you guys who listen to the Artisan Central podcast at artisancentralpodcast.com. And just, there is so much that's going on, and a wonderful community that's growing around this channel. Thank you so very much, guys. You're all awesome. I can't stop bragging about you guys. I love you all so much, and I feel the connection with you guys, the support and the love that you show me through the channel, through the Facebook, and through everything else. Links are all in the description below. Of course, this image right here, you can click on it and go straight to the Patreon page. And guys, thank you so much. And for all my Patreon patrons, your advanced tutorial is waiting for you, where you can see this turned into a colored digital art. And I hope that you guys enjoy. God bless you all. See you next time. I love you. Bye.